Amara was once a girl full of joy and energy, living in a neighborhood where she felt like she belonged, with friends who were always by her side. But since her family moved to a different city for her mother's job, everything changed. Amara was the only black student at her new school, a large school where most of the students were white. Her physical difference made her a point of attention from the first day. At her old school, Amara was always at the center of all activities, enthusiastic in class and actively participating in clubs. But at the new school, things were different. Whenever she entered the classroom, judgmental glances started focusing on her. Occasionally, she would hear whispers and laughter from her classmates behind her. Instead of making friends, most of her classmates seemed to only focus on her skin color. At first, Amara tried to ignore the teasing and judgmental looks. She thought if she just focused on her studies, they would gradually accept her presence. But then, things got worse. During a physical education class, when Amara was doing her best to finish her running exercise, some classmates called her by derogatory nicknames that broke her heart. It wasn't harmless joking, but direct insults to her dignity. Amara returned home that afternoon, head down, heart heavy. She didn't want to worry her mother, so she tried to smile when asked about her school day. But when she was alone in her room, she found herself unable to stop the tears. Each day for Amara was like a battle. She began to withdraw, stopped talking much to her mother, and no longer looked forward to going to school. She even quit activities she once loved. Amara's mother, Olivia, gradually noticed the change in her daughter. In the past, Amara was always happy and eager to tell her everything that happened at school, but now she only spoke a few brief words and quickly retreated to her room. Olivia was worried, but didn't know how to get Amara to open up. One day, Amara couldn't bear it anymore. When her mother inquired, she broke down in tears and told her everything she had been going through. Olivia embraced her daughter, feeling the deep pain within her. She promised to find a way to help Amara and ensure she wouldn't be alone on this journey. That's when Olivia decided to seek a psychologist for Amara. Amara was taken by her mother to see Dr. Lisa, a psychologist specializing in working with teenagers. Dr. Lisa had a gentle appearance, with short hair and warm eyes. Her office was decorated with soft pastel tones and motivational quotes hanging on the walls. When Amara entered, she felt a bit reserved, but Dr. Lisa smiled and welcomed her warmly. She invited Amara to sit on a soft chair and started talking naturally, not rushing or forcing her. Amara stayed silent, her eyes not fully trusting yet. Dr. Lisa shared a bit about herself, her reasons for choosing this work, and her desire to help young people like Amara. Through each story, Amara gradually felt more at ease. Dr. Lisa didn't ask too many questions in the first session, but allowed Amara to speak freely if she wanted. And if she didn't, she could simply sit in silence, just feeling the safe space. By the end of the session, Amara had opened up a little, although she still kept some distance. Dr. Lisa understood that trust needed to be built over time, and that Amara's emotional wounds needed time to heal. She scheduled another meeting for the following week and encouraged Amara to share anything she felt comfortable with. Leaving Dr. Lisa's office, Amara felt a bit lighter. She didn't tell her mother about the session, but inside she had a glimmer of hope that she had found someone who might understand and help her. A week later, Amara returned to Dr. Lisa's office, feeling both anxious and expectant. Although the first meeting had made her feel a bit more comfortable, she still found it hard to share the painful emotions and experiences she had kept hidden. Dr. Lisa understood that opening up to a stranger wasn't easy, especially when the pain stemmed from discrimination and the daily differences Amara had to endure. She decided to start with a gentle story to connect with Amara. Throughout the conversation, Dr. Lisa chose a slow, gentle approach. She asked Amara about her interests, what she liked to do in her free time, and about her old school before moving here. These questions made Amara feel that Dr. Lisa truly cared about her as a person, not just her problems. Amara began telling Dr. Lisa about her old school, where she had close friends, outings, and a sense of belonging. It was a place where she didn't have to worry about her appearance or how different she was. The memories of her old school made her feel both nostalgic and a bit sad. Dr. Lisa listened to every detail, taking notes on points she felt could help Amara regain her confidence and sense of safety. Dr. Lisa then asked Amara about her new school and the difficulties she was facing. Initially, Amara spoke briefly, but with Dr. Lisa's gentle encouragement, she began to share more. She talked about the scrutinizing glances from her classmates, the malicious whispers about her skin color, and even the times she was teased right in class without anyone standing up for her. Pent-up emotions gradually overflowed, and Amara found herself crying as she recalled those moments. Dr. Lisa listened empathetically, without interrupting, allowing Amara to freely express her feelings. She quietly handed her tissues, waiting until she felt better. After Amara stopped crying, Dr. Lisa gently said, "Amara, what you've gone through is truly unfair and painful. No one deserves to face discrimination and mocking words like that. But the important thing is, you're not alone. There are many people who love you and want to help you through this." Amara was silent, feeling as if part of the burden on her shoulders had been lifted. This was the first time she could genuinely express her pain to someone without fear of judgment or indifference. Dr. Lisa's words helped her realize that her feelings were valid and that she deserved protection and love. After that session, Dr. Lisa began planning the following counseling sessions, focusing on helping Amara recognize and overcome the negative emotions she was facing. She saw that Amara had lost her confidence and joy in life because of the terrible experiences at school, and it was important to help her rebuild her self-belief. In subsequent therapy sessions, Dr. Lisa and Amara explored the hidden feelings and fears she was carrying in her heart. Dr. Lisa guided Amara to use techniques like journaling to express emotions or deep breathing to relieve anxiety. Initially, Amara found these methods strange and difficult, but with Dr. Lisa's patient encouragement, she gradually experimented and began to feel the change. One day, when Amara came to the session, she brought a small notebook. She had written down her thoughts and feelings about what she was going through. She wrote about the pain of facing prejudice from classmates, the loneliness and lack of safety she felt when going to school each day, and even her anger and frustration at not being protected. Dr. Lisa read Amara's words and saw that she was gradually opening up, revealing the deepest parts of her soul. Lisa reassured Amara that feeling anger and hurt was completely natural when facing injustice. She taught her to transform that anger into motivation, so she could protect herself and not be swayed by malicious words. She also taught Amara how to set boundaries with others, so she would feel safer and more in control in social situations. In the following therapy sessions, Dr. Lisa focused on rebuilding Amara's confidence. She encouraged her to participate in activities she once loved, like painting and reading. She explained that by spending time on things she enjoyed, Amara would reconnect with the joy of living and rediscover her self-worth, despite any prejudice or hurtful words from others. Amara started to try participating in extracurricular activities at school, although she was initially very shy. She felt scared and anxious every time she had to appear in front of people. But she remembered what Dr. Lisa had taught her about deep breathing to reduce anxiety. She reminded herself that she didn't need to worry about others' opinions, but only focus on her happiness. During an art club session, Amara painted a picture of a strong girl standing under the sun. She used bright colors to convey her longing for freedom and hope within her. She found herself feeling lighter when she could express her emotions through each brushstroke, and she decided to continue painting to capture her journey. One day, when Amara shared her painting with Dr. Lisa smiled proudly and said that she had made great progress. Amara also noticed the change in herself. She began to feel more confident, feeling that she deserved respect and love. Though she knew there was still a long journey ahead, she had found the strength within to overcome hurtful words and be confident in being herself. Gradually, Amara began learning how to protect herself and set boundaries with those around her. She was no longer afraid of the looks or mocking words as before. Amara understood that others' judgments did not define her value, and the most important thing was to love and cherish herself. Dr. Lisa continued to accompany Amara through each difficult stage, helping her realize that, despite her physical differences, she was a special individual who deserved respect. Amara's healing journey was a long one, but it helped her grow stronger, more resilient, and learn how to love herself more. And then one day, standing in front of the mirror, Amara saw herself no longer as the timid, hesitant girl of the past months. Instead, she saw a girl with determined, confident eyes. The challenges she had faced had not broken her, but had helped her grow much stronger. Amara decided to continue pursuing her passion for art, using her talent to tell her story and help others facing similar hardships. As time passed, with help from Dr. Lisa and her mother's love, Amara gradually regained her confidence and strength. However, the problems at school remained. Although she had learned to control her emotions and not let hurtful words shake her, she still had to face the indifference from the school, a place that should have protected her from bullying and discrimination. Amara continued to encounter groups of students who mocked her daily. Although it no longer had the same psychological effect as before, these behaviors still weighed on her invisibly. Every morning she had to tell herself to be strong enough to get through the day, but by the evening she would come home exhausted. During a counseling session, Amara shared with Dr. Lisa about what she had to endure daily at school and how tired she felt having to protect herself alone. Lisa recognized that it was time for more decisive action to address this situation. She encouraged Amara and her mother, Olivia, to work with the school to request a meeting to discuss the bullying Amara was experiencing. Olivia agreed and contacted the school administration, requesting a meeting to discuss the bullying her daughter had to endure. Initially, the school administration seemed reluctant, but after several calls from Olivia and her persistence, they agreed to arrange a meeting. That day, Amara went to school with her mother. In the meeting room, they met the principal and a few teachers. The principal, a middle-aged man, sat across from Amara and her mother with a stern look, but showed no sign of deep concern. When Olivia began explaining what Amara had been going through, the principal listened, but his response was somewhat indifferent. "We apologize for what your daughter has had to go through," the principal said in an unenthusiastic tone. "But we need concrete evidence to conduct an investigation and take action." His words shocked Olivia. She tried to stay calm, but anger was rising within her. "Amara has told me about the many times she's been mocked, called inappropriate names, and even pushed into walls. Are my daughter's words not worth consideration?" The principal leaned back in his chair and replied calmly, "I understand and sympathize with what Amara has gone through, but we cannot act based on one-sided statements. If no one else witnesses or reports the incidents, we cannot take any action." Amara felt a deep disappointment fill her heart. She stared down at the table, feeling abandoned by the very people who were supposed to stand by her. The principal's words made her feel as if her existence didn't matter, that what she was going through wasn't worthy of anyone else's concern. Seeing her daughter silent and helpless, Olivia could not sit quietly. "So you mean that if my daughter doesn't have anyone to witness what she's been through, the school will do nothing?" The principal nodded reluctantly. "We have policies to protect students from bullying, but to enforce these policies, we need clear evidence." Olivia was both disappointed and angry. She knew that not all bullying happened in front of others and that many bullied students often didn't dare to stand up as witnesses. Faced with the coldness of the school administration, she turned to Amara and said, "We won't stop here, dear. I promise to do everything I can to protect you." After the meeting, Amara felt a heavy weight in her heart. She felt like she had tried to speak up, but everyone around her remained indifferent. However, her mother would not accept this silence. She decided to go further to ensure her daughter would no longer have to endure such discrimination. The next day, Olivia contacted a lawyer experienced in school bullying cases. She explained Amara's situation, and the lawyer deeply sympathized with them. He offered to help them draft an official letter to the school, requesting that they take measures to address the issue and commit to ensuring Amara's safety. The letter also mentioned the possibility of legal action if the school did not act. Upon receiving the letter, the administration grew more cautious. They didn't want the school to face legal trouble, so they agreed to hold a meeting with the lawyer and Amara's family to find a solution. However, The principal still showed reluctance and only said they would monitor Amara's situation without making any concrete promises. Though disappointed with the school's attitude, Amara felt she was no longer alone. Her mother's support and the lawyer's help gave her additional motivation to continue facing the challenges. She knew this journey wasn't easy, but she didn't have to bear it alone anymore. After that, Amara's mother and the lawyer continued to push for protection measures for her. They requested the school implement specific measures, such as organizing workshops on bullying and respecting diversity, and demanding that the principal and teachers take more responsibility in supervising and preventing bullying. A week later, the school announced it would hold a workshop on diversity and tolerance, inviting educational and psychological experts to speak to students and teachers. For Amara, this workshop was an important step, not only because it raised awareness among her classmates, but also because it proved her family's efforts were bearing fruit. At the workshop, Amara felt proud to see her mother and the lawyer sitting in the front row. Though they didn't speak directly, their presence was a reminder that Amara had people on her side and that she no longer had to endure injustice unnoticed. In a moment, as Amara looked around, she noticed many other students listening intently, starting to think about how they treated others. The workshop opened her classmates' minds to the ideas of respect and tolerance, and made them reconsider how they treated Amara and other classmates. After the workshop, Amara felt a sense of relief. Although perhaps not everyone would change immediately, she knew she had made a small impact, prompting people to reconsider prejudice and bullying. Continuing her counseling sessions with Dr. Lisa, Amara felt stronger than ever. She realized that standing up for herself and speaking out was not only to protect herself, but also to help others who might be going through similar difficulties. Amara's mother and Dr. Lisa became indispensable companions on her journey. Thanks to them, Amara not only learned how to face challenges, but also learned to love and appreciate herself, regardless of others' prejudices. She decided to continue this journey with perseverance and courage, not only for herself, but also to be an example for those facing discrimination and bullying. Amara knew this was just the beginning, and she was ready for the next steps in building a strong, confident, and meaningful life. After the school's workshop on diversity and tolerance, Amara noticed small changes around her. Although the teasing didn't completely disappear, her classmates seemed more cautious in their words and actions. Some teachers also began paying more attention to classroom behavior, helping to prevent situations that could lead to conflict or bullying. Still, these changes weren't enough for Amara to feel completely safe. She knew that to truly overcome and transform her environment into a more positive place, she needed greater strength, not only from her family or school, but from her own community. And then, an unexpected event gave Amara a motivation she never anticipated. One day, while participating in the art club after school, Amara sat alone at the large table, focusing on finishing her latest painting. In recent works, Amara often chose bright colors, representing the hope and confidence she was gradually finding again. She didn't realize that her dedication and passion for art would catch the attention of a few other members in the club. Anna, a fellow member of the art club, had noticed Amara for a long time. She often saw Amara sitting quietly, working alone, without talking to anyone, and always looking reserved. That day, Anna gathered the courage to approach Amara and sit down next to her. "Amara, this painting of yours is beautiful," Anna said with a friendly smile. "You truly have talent. Have you thought about joining the school exhibition?" Amara was surprised and a little flustered by Anna's compliment. It had been a long time since she received such positive encouragement from a classmate. She hesitantly replied, "Thank you, Anna. I just paint to relax. I'm probably not that good." Anna smiled and persistently encouraged her. "Don't say that, Amara. Your paintings really have soul and emotion. They especially bring a very genuine feeling. I think you should try joining the exhibition, not only to express yourself, but also to let everyone see how talented you are." Amara felt a warmth inside. This was the first time she had a classmate show genuine interest and encouragement. Though she was still somewhat hesitant, she felt a small hope that maybe, finally, she wouldn't have to face it all alone. In the days that followed, Amara began to notice that Anna often came over to chat with her more. Their conversations gradually became closer and more natural. Amara shared with Anna the difficulties she was going through, from the differences she felt at school to the mocking words and feelings of loneliness. Anna listened with deep empathy, also sharing that she had once felt out of place when transferring from another school. Anna wasn't just a friend. She started helping Amara expand her relationships at school. She introduced Amara to a few other friends in the art club and her own circle of close friends. Amara gradually felt she no longer had to be isolated. Her new friends began to understand and appreciate her, not only for her talent, but also for her strength and sincerity. One day, while Amara was having lunch with her new friends, they decided to do something to support her. Anna and the others proposed organizing an art exhibition with the theme Respect for Diversity. They wanted to use Amara's artistic talent to convey a message about the importance of difference and tolerance. At first, Amara was a bit nervous and hesitant. She was afraid people wouldn't welcome the idea and would gossip again. But with her friends' encouragement, she gradually felt more confident. She knew this was an opportunity not only to showcase her talent, but also to voice her message, to show everyone that diversity makes life richer, not something to discriminate against. Amara and her friends began spending time after school preparing for the exhibition. She diligently painted new pieces, each expressing different emotions she had gone through, from pain and loneliness to hope and joy when she found support from friends. Amara's paintings were not only artistically beautiful, but also full of meaning. Each piece was a story, a reminder of strength and resilience in the face of challenges. In each painting, Amara skillfully used colors to express deep-seated emotions, the hidden corners she once had to hide. Bold colors like red and dark blue symbolized pain, loneliness, and feelings of isolation, while bright colors like yellow and light pink represented freedom and renewed faith in life. Amara's friends supported her not only emotionally, but also helped her prepare the logistics for the exhibition. They planned, invited teachers, classmates, and even family to attend. They also decorated the exhibition space with quotes about diversity and tolerance, creating a warm and meaningful environment. The day of the exhibition finally arrived. Amara could hardly believe her eyes when she saw the colorful and meaningful space she and her friends had created. Each of her paintings was placed in a prominent position, with a brief description of the feelings and message she wanted to convey. The exhibition attracted the attention of many students and teachers. Everyone was surprised by Amara's talent and moved by the stories she told through each painting. She was not just a student, she was an artist, someone who knew how to use art to convey powerful messages. The principal, who had once been indifferent to Amara's issues, also attended the exhibition. He hadn't realized that the student he had once thought of as a quiet, withdrawn girl could have such a significant impact. After viewing each painting and reading Amara's descriptions, he began to realize that he had misjudged her and hadn't done enough to protect and support her. After the exhibition, the principal approached Amara and apologized for what she had endured. He promised to do better to ensure a safe and inclusive school environment for all students. The principal's apology and promise of change were an important acknowledgement for Amara. She felt her efforts and struggles had not been in vain. The exhibition was not just an artistic event, but a dialogue, a major step in changing the school's collective consciousness. Amara's classmates began to see her in a different light. They no longer saw her as the strange black girl, but as a friend, someone with talent and courage. Some classmates even came up to Amara, apologizing for the teasing in the past and admitting they were wrong to judge her solely based on her appearance. Amara realized that people could change, that sometimes prejudice and discrimination came only from ignorance and old biases. This brought her new faith in tolerance and positive change. From then on, Amara began to feel that she truly had a place at school. She felt she was part of the community, loved and respected. The wounds she had once endured gradually healed. This event also helped her realize the power of solidarity and support from the community. It was Anna and her friends' companionship that gave her the courage to stand up, find her voice, and regain her confidence. Finally, Amara decided she would not stop at this exhibition. She and her friends planned other projects to raise awareness about diversity and tolerance in school. She wanted her story to be not just a personal one, but a message to all who had ever faced injustice and discrimination. Amara had overcome the darkness and found her own light. Now she was ready to help others find their light. After the successful exhibition, Amara gradually became a symbol of strength and resilience at school. She not only changed the way her friends and teachers saw her, but also felt as though she had overcome a large part of her inner struggles. That event showed her that when she stood up for herself and dared to speak out, she could create change. Since the exhibition, Amara started receiving more invitations to participate in school activities. Teachers no longer saw her as a shy and quiet student, but as someone who could share valuable lessons about diversity and tolerance. One day, her literature teacher invited her to speak in front of the class about her experiences with bullying and how she overcame it. That morning, Amara walked into the classroom, feeling a little nervous. Despite having overcome many challenges, she still felt anxious about discussing her painful experiences in front of a large group. But the encouraging look from her teacher and her new friends gave her strength. Amara began recounting her journey, from moving to a new school, facing discrimination and loneliness, to her sessions with Dr. Lisa and the support of her mother and friends. She shared the internal conflicts she went through, the long nights spent feeling insecure and unaccepted. The class sat in silence, listening attentively, each word resonating with the struggles she had endured. "The most important thing I realized," Amara said, "is that I can't let others define my worth. I reminded myself that I don't need to fit into anyone else's standards. I just need to be myself, and I'll find people who are willing to understand and love me for that." Amara paused for a moment, her eyes scanning her classmates, noticing looks of admiration and empathy. Some even had tears in their eyes, deeply moved by her story. This gave Amara more confidence, and she continued to share how she found strength from those around her and within herself. At the end of her talk, Amara encouraged her classmates to value diversity, saying everyone deserves to be loved and respected regardless of their differences. She emphasized that no one should endure isolation and discrimination simply because they don't look or act like the majority. Her words touched the whole class, and afterward, many came up to thank her for her courageous sharing. After that talk, Amara became the representative of the art club in cultural events at school, where she and her friends could continue spreading the message of diversity and tolerance. Whenever an important event took place, Amara and her friends organized small exhibitions, inviting students and teachers to attend, reminding everyone of the importance of respect and acceptance of differences. One day, Amara received a letter from another high school in the city. The school had heard about her story through a teacher who had attended her exhibition, and they invited Amara to speak to their students. Amara felt a bit anxious at the thought of speaking to an unfamiliar school, but she also realized this was an opportunity to share her positive message with more people. With encouragement from friends and her mother, Amara accepted the invitation and prepared for her talk. She wrote down the main points she wanted to share, including her personal experiences, lessons she had learned, and how she had overcome challenges to become stronger. She also emphasized the role of community support, which had helped her through her darkest moments. On the day of her talk at the other school, Amara stepped into the large auditorium filled with hundreds of students waiting. Their curious eyes were fixed on her, and she could feel a bit of pressure. But remembering what she had overcome and her belief that her story could help someone, she regained her composure and began her speech. "I used to be a confident student, always feeling like I had a solid place in my community," Amara started. "But when I moved to a new school, I quickly realized that things were not as simple as I thought. I began to feel different, like I didn't belong here, and that feeling only got worse as I faced teasing and discrimination." Amara recounted her journey of struggle, from moments of despair to times when she sought help and ultimately found strength from her new friends and art. She talked about the difficulty of facing the school administration's indifference and her efforts to change her surroundings, to create a place where everyone was respected and accepted. When Amara talked about her paintings, she noticed many students listening intently, trying to feel and understand her experiences on a deeper level. After finishing her story, Amara emphasized, "No one deserves to be treated poorly or mocked simply because they're different. Everyone has their unique value and deserves respect. We may not be able to change everyone around us, but we can change the way we view ourselves and how we treat others." Amara's words caused a stir throughout the auditorium. Many students and teachers applauded, expressing their support and admiration for her. After the talk, several students approached Amara to thank her for her story and share that they had gone through similar difficulties. Amara felt happy knowing that her story was not just a personal voice, but could also be a source of encouragement for many others. After the talk, the school administration invited Amara to become a regular guest speaker for workshops on bullying and tolerance in school communities. Amara realized that this was not only an opportunity, but also a responsibility. She decided not to stop at small talks, but to work to spread her message of tolerance and respect even further. Amara and her mother decided to create a small project together, with the goal of organizing workshops and art exhibitions for various schools across the city. They named the project Colors of Respect, signifying that everyone's uniqueness is a piece of the vibrant, diverse picture of life. Amara didn't just share her story, she encouraged students to engage in artistic activities to express their emotions and voices. She believed that art was a powerful language that could convey the deepest emotions and thoughts without needing complex words. Paintings, sculptures, or other art pieces could be a way for people to feel and understand each other better. Amara's project gradually gained attention, not only from schools, but also from local organizations and businesses. These organizations wanted to sponsor the project, providing resources and space for Amara to continue her inspirational work. For Amara, this was a tremendous joy and motivation to pursue her passion and mission. In every workshop, Amara found herself growing a little bit more. Every story she heard from students, every thank you or empathetic look reminded her that her journey was meaningful. She not only helped others recognize the value of tolerance, but also helped them find the inner strength to overcome difficulties. Thanks to Amara's continuous efforts and the community's support, the Colors of Respect project became a large movement, with participation from many schools and organizations across the city. Amara was no longer the lonely girl facing mocking words and discrimination. She had become a young leader, a symbol of resilience and kindness, always working to create a better school environment for everyone. Amara knew that her journey wouldn't end here. She still had much to learn and many challenges to overcome. But now she was no longer walking alone. Amara had friends, family, and an extensive community, always ready to stand by her side through any journey ahead. As the Colors of Respect project continued to grow and become a powerful movement within the community, Amara not only felt proud, but also found a sense of belonging. Every day she received letters from students, teachers, and even parents, thanking her for helping and inspiring them. For many people, Amara's story had become a symbol of resilience and belief in one's self-worth. One afternoon after school, as Amara was preparing materials for an upcoming workshop, she received a letter from a girl named Maya. Maya was a new student who had recently transferred from another city and was also struggling to fit in. In her letter, Maya described the bullying she endured at her school, the feelings of insecurity, and the loneliness she had to bear. Maya wrote that Amara's story had become a great source of motivation, helping her realize she wasn't alone in facing these challenges. Holding Maya's letter, Amara read each line carefully and saw herself in Maya's story. The emotions Maya shared reminded Amara of her own early days, facing prejudice and hurtful comments. She realized she had come a long way, not only to find her self-worth, but also to pass that strength on to others in need. After reading Maya's letter, Amara decided she would meet and support Maya, just as Dr. Lisa, her mother, and friends had supported her. She believed Maya needed someone to guide and walk alongside her, someone who could help her find her inner strength and confidence. The next morning, Amara wrote a response to Maya, inviting her to attend the next Colors of Respect workshop and expressing her eagerness to meet and chat with her. In the letter, Amara wrote heartfelt lines about understanding the feelings Maya was facing and reassured her that she didn't need to endure it alone. Amara shared her journey and encouraged Maya that everyone has their own value, and she did too. When Maya received Amara's letter, she was deeply moved. It was the first time she had received such support and understanding from someone outside her family. Maya decided to attend the workshop, although she was initially a bit nervous and apprehensive. On the day of the workshop, Amara stood on the stage, looking down and spotting Maya sitting in the front row, her eyes filled with both worry and hope. Amara smiled warmly at Maya and began her talk. Amara shared her journey of healing, from the early days of enduring bullying to the moment she found strength from within and from the community around her. She emphasized that anyone could overcome hardship and rediscover their value if they learned to love and trust themselves. As Maya sat listening, her eyes filled with emotion. She felt that Amara's story was not just Amara's but also her own. Maya realized she was not alone and that there were people willing to help her. After the workshop, Amara approached Maya and greeted her with a warm smile. They sat together and began talking. Amara listened as Maya shared her struggles, her feelings of loneliness, and her fear of going to school. Amara didn't interrupt, patiently listening, nodding occasionally to show Maya that she truly understood and empathized with every story she shared. When Maya finished, Amara smiled and said, "I went through similar emotions myself. It was a very challenging time, but I realized that I have strength within me, and I don't need to change myself to fit anyone else's expectations. You don't either, Maya. You're not alone, and you don't need to be perfect to be accepted. Just be yourself, and you'll find people who genuinely care for and value you." Maya remained silent, deeply moved by Amara's words. She felt a sense of relief, as if a burden had been lifted from her shoulders. She felt she could trust Amara and that this was someone who could help her regain confidence and joy in life. From that day on, Amara became a mentor to Maya. She regularly talked to Maya, helping her through difficult days and encouraging her to participate in artistic activities within the Colors of Respect project. Amara noticed Maya had a talent for writing, so she suggested Maya try writing about her feelings as a way to release them. Gradually, Maya began to journal, recording her thoughts and emotions about what she was going through. In her journal, Maya wrote about the sadness of being isolated, the anger she felt facing judgmental looks, but she also wrote about the hope she found in meeting Amara and feeling that she had finally found someone who truly understood and empathized with her. Writing helped Maya feel more comfortable, and she began learning how to deal with her complex emotions. One day, Amara read a few passages from Maya's journal with her permission and felt deeply touched by the honesty and depth in each line. She saw Maya's inner struggle and strong desire to escape fear and rediscover herself. Amara suggested that Maya share her thoughts at the next Colors of Respect workshop, and she would be there to encourage her. Initially, Maya was hesitant about speaking in front of others, but with Amara's encouragement, she gradually became more confident. Maya realized that sharing her story not only helped her release her feelings, but also could inspire others, just as Amara's story had impacted her. On the day of the workshop, Maya stood on the stage, looking down at the audience and seeing Amara sitting there, smiling encouragingly. Maya took a deep breath and began sharing her experiences. She talked about her difficult days, the feelings of being alienated and hurt, but she also spoke about her journey to find strength and faith in herself. Maya emphasized that everyone deserves love and respect, and that anyone could overcome hardship with support and self-belief. Maya finished her talk to warm applause from the audience. She felt as though a weight had been lifted from her heart, leaving her with a sense of comfort and pride. After the workshop, many students came up to thank Maya and shared that her story had inspired them. As Maya stepped off the stage, she saw Amara waiting for her with a warm smile. The two embraced in joy and mutual understanding. Amara knew that Maya had found her strength and that now she too could help others. From that moment on, Maya became an active member of the Colors of Respect project, She not only attended workshops, but also wrote articles, sharing her thoughts and experiences in hopes of helping those facing similar situations. Amara felt proud of Maya and realized that her support had made a profound impact. Amara also found that helping others was not only a way to inspire, but also a way to discover her own value. She realized that on this journey, she had not only found herself, but also uncovered the power of kindness and empathy. She decided she would not stop there. She wanted to spread the message of love and tolerance to more people. Amara, Maya, and other project members turned Colors of Respect into a widespread movement. They not only changed the lives of those around them, but also created a positive school environment where everyone was encouraged to be themselves, respected and accepted. Finally, Amara realized that the true value of life wasn't about trying to fit someone else's standards, but about loving and believing in oneself. She had gone through a long journey, from a lonely girl who felt alienated to a leader who inspired and helped others to find themselves. Amara knew that her journey would continue and that there would be more challenges ahead. But now, she no longer had to walk alone. Amara had friends, the Colors of Respect community, and thousands of people who supported her. She knew that no matter where she went, she would carry the message of love, resilience, and tolerance. With a heart full of faith and determination, Amara decided to continue her work, bringing hope and joy to those who needed it. She understood that her strength lay not in trying to be perfect or fitting in with others, but in loving herself, respecting, and helping others. As the Colors of Respect project continued to expand beyond the school and spread to other schools and even local organizations in the city, it became more than just workshops, art exhibitions, or talks. It gradually transformed into a real community where people came together, shared stories, and found empathy and encouragement to overcome difficulties. As the movement grew, Amara began to think about creating an online space for those who couldn't participate in person. She and Maya together created a website for Colors of Respect, a place where people could post personal stories, share experiences, and send messages of love. This website became a safe haven where young people and even adults could share their struggles without fear of judgment. The website quickly attracted hundreds of members within just a few weeks. Amara felt proud as she saw diverse stories from all over, from students who were bullied to adults who had once felt isolated and alienated. Each story brought a wave of empathy and encouragement from the community, and Amara realized that she was also learning a lot from others. Among the new members on the site was a boy named Leo, a student from another school who had faced discrimination because of his gender identity. Leo had endured discrimination ever since he began realizing his sexual orientation was different. He shared that the teasing and mockery from his classmates caused him much pain and hurt, and sometimes he even thought of dropping out because he couldn't stand it any longer. Amara read Leo's post and felt as if she were looking at part of her own story. She remembered the pain she had gone through and understood that Leo was experiencing similar struggles. She decided to reach out to Leo and invite him to join the Colors of Respect community. Initially, Leo felt a bit reserved upon receiving Amara's message, but after talking to her, he felt he had found someone who truly understood him and was willing to listen. Amara encouraged Leo to take part in community activities and suggested he share his story at an upcoming workshop. Leo hesitated, fearing he would face judgmental looks, but Amara assured him that sharing his story could help many people. On the day of the workshop, Leo appeared a bit nervous but full of determination. He stepped onto the stage, his eyes filled with both hope and emotion. Leo began to tell his journey, from realizing he was different to facing discrimination, prejudice, and feelings of not belonging. He shared the pain and insecurity he had endured, but he also talked about finding strength through friends and the Colors of Respect community. Leo's story touched the hearts of everyone in attendance. Many people were moved to tears as they listened to his struggles of loneliness and isolation. But above all, Leo's story was a powerful reminder of resilience and courage. He ended his talk with a message that no one needs to change to be loved and accepted. He received a standing ovation from the audience, and Amara knew that this community had helped Leo find himself. After the workshop, Amara and Leo decided to work together to expand Colors of Respect into other schools in the area. They wanted to create a network of schools where each one would have a representative participating in and organizing activities promoting mutual respect and tolerance. Leo came up with the idea of a campaign called Listen to Understand, aimed at encouraging students and teachers to come together, share, and listen to each other's stories. Amara and Leo began planning the campaign, creating materials, and organizing online meetings to train representatives from participating schools. Together, they wrote sample stories, guidelines, and held sessions on active listening skills. They wanted to create a safe space in every school where anyone could come for support when needed. When the Listen to Understand campaign officially launched, dozens of schools signed up to participate. Each school formed a small group of students and teachers who committed to building a safe and inclusive school environment. They began hosting meetups where students and teachers could listen and share personal stories. These gatherings helped everyone better understand one another and break down prejudices, creating a bond within the school community. Amara and Leo attended some of these gatherings at various schools, listening to stories of suffering, loneliness, and hope from the students. Each story served as a reminder that everyone deserves love and respect, no matter who they are or where they come from. Amara felt that the campaign not only changed the lives of others, but also continued her journey of discovering her own purpose. One day, Amara received a call from her school's principal, the very one who had once been indifferent when she faced bullying. The principal shared that since the Colors of Respect movement and the Listen to Understand campaign had spread within the school, she had started reevaluating her role in creating a safe and positive school environment. She thanked Amara for being a courageous pioneer, standing up for herself, and helping make such a significant change. Amara felt an indescribable happiness. Everything she had endured, all her efforts had not only transformed her personal life, but also helped change an entire system. She realized that she had overcome the darkness and was now creating light for others. Sometime later, the Colors of Respect community continued to grow, offering a range of diverse activities. Life skills workshops, art sessions, and psychology classes were held regularly to help students better understand themselves and learn how to empathize with others. Amara also included sessions on positive thinking, stress management, and other essential life skills. The project's website was upgraded to a larger online platform, featuring articles, videos, and forums where people could share and discuss. The community grew closer and more vibrant than ever, and Amara and the other members continued to work tirelessly to maintain and develop the movement. Amara and Leo received invitations from various organizations and international forums on human rights, asking them to share their experiences in building a positive and inclusive community. Their story, from young people who had once faced bullying and discrimination to young leaders building a movement for diversity and respect, had become an inspiration not only locally, but also internationally. As Amara looked back on her journey, she felt her heart filled with gratitude and happiness. From a shy girl who had felt discriminated against and alone, Amara had become an inspirational figure, a leader filled with kindness and determination. What she had gone through not only helped her find her own value, but also allowed her to bring value to the lives of those around her. Amara knew that her journey was far from over and that more challenges lay ahead. But now, she no longer had to walk alone. She had friends, the Colors of Respect community, and thousands of people who supported her. She knew that wherever she went, she would carry with her the message of love, resilience, and tolerance. With a heart filled with love and hope, Amara decided she would continue her work, spreading hope and joy to those who needed it. She understood that her true strength did not lie in trying to be perfect or conforming to others' standards, but in loving herself, respecting others, and helping those around her. Sometime later, the Colors of Respect community continued to grow, offering a range of diverse activities. Life skills workshops, art sessions, and psychology classes were held regularly to help students better understand themselves and learn how to empathize with others. Amara also included sessions on positive thinking, stress management, and other essential life skills. The project's website was upgraded to a larger online platform, featuring articles, videos, and forums where people could share and discuss. The community grew closer and more vibrant than ever, and Amara and the other members continued to work tirelessly to maintain and develop the movement. Amara and Leo received invitations from various organizations and international forums on human rights, asking them to share their experiences in building a positive and inclusive community. Their story, from young people who had once faced bullying and discrimination to young leaders building a movement for diversity and respect, had become an inspiration not only locally, but also internationally. As Amara looked back on her journey, she felt her heart filled with gratitude and happiness. From a shy girl who had felt discriminated against and alone, Amara had become an inspirational figure, a leader filled with kindness and determination. What she had gone through not only helped her find her own value, but also allowed her to bring value to the lives of those around her. Amara knew that her journey was far from over and that more challenges lay ahead. But now, she no longer had to walk alone. She had friends, the Colors of Respect community, and thousands of people who supported her. She knew that wherever she went, she would carry with her the message of love, resilience, and tolerance. With a heart filled with love and hope, Amara decided she would continue her work, spreading hope and joy to those who needed it. She understood that her true strength did not lie in trying to be perfect or conforming to others' standards, but in loving herself, respecting others, and helping those around her. The audience listened in silence, captivated by Amara's story. Many were moved to tears by her heartfelt words. Amara concluded her presentation with a message. We may come from different cultures and have different stories, but tolerance and respect are universal values that can bring us together. Amara's speech received a standing ovation from the audience. She received countless congratulations, praises, and warm embraces from other young activists. Some of them even expressed a desire to bring the Colors of Respect model into their own communities, and Amara was delighted to share materials and valuable insights. After the conference, Amara spent time meeting and talking with new friends from other countries. She met Max from Germany, who was building a support program for students struggling with mental health, and Maria from Brazil, who had launched a campaign to raise awareness about school violence. These conversations gave Amara new perspectives and ideas for developing her movement further. One evening, while sitting along the banks of the Seine with her new friends, Amara shared that she once thought she could only create small changes within her own community. But now, she realized that the connection between like-minded young people from all over the world would lead to lasting, meaningful change. She received offers from Max and Maria to collaborate on an international project, where each of them would share their models, support one another, and expand the reach of tolerance and respect campaigns. Amara felt inspired and decided to join this project to spread her message to more people. When she returned from Paris, Amara felt a newfound sense of purpose and a strong determination to continue her mission. She no longer saw herself as just a young leader in her community, but as part of a larger global movement, where young people from all over the world were working together to create positive change. The Colors of Respect community continued to grow, with more initiatives and new activities. Amara and her team held more workshops, art exhibitions, and discussion panels to help young people learn to love themselves, respect diversity, and listen to and understand others. One day, as Amara was preparing for a workshop, she received a message from a young person in a distant city who had read about her project in an article. They wrote that Amara's story had helped them overcome their own struggles and asked for advice on starting a similar movement at their school. Amara realized that the power of kindness and tolerance didn't just change the lives of those around her, but also inspired people she hadn't even met. She replied to the message, encouraging them and offering support whenever needed. Reflecting on her journey, Amara saw how she was no longer the timid girl who once felt isolated and discriminated against. Now, she was a young leader, someone who had found purpose and meaning in life. She knew that each story she shared, every workshop she organized, and each person she inspired was a step toward building a better world. Amara promised herself that she would keep going, spreading the message of tolerance and respect. And with a heart full of love and hope, she continued on her path, ready to face any challenges that lay ahead and to keep inspiring those who needed it. Amara understood that life wasn't just about finding meaning for herself, but about helping others, bringing hope and love to those facing hardship. Final part. Amara's final school year passed quickly, filled with her work on the Colors of Respect project and community activities. Her growth and resilient spirit had become a symbol, not only at her school, but throughout the community. Amara knew she had truly changed the lives of many, not only by creating a safe space, but by becoming a source of encouragement for others who faced similar hardships. On graduation day, Amara stood on stage to receive her diploma, greeted by enthusiastic applause. The principal invited her to give a speech to the entire school, and Amara looked around the hall, recognizing many familiar faces who had accompanied her on this journey. Each person there, whether friends or teachers, had played an important role in her story. Amara began her speech with heartfelt thanks to her family, friends, and even those who once doubted her. She recalled her early days as a shy girl who felt she didn't belong, and then she told of her journey of rising above it all, learning to love and respect herself. She said, "The hardships I went through were not just challenges, but opportunities to discover and realize my inner strength. It was through these experiences that I found my passion for helping others, inspiring my community, and creating a space where everyone feels heard and loved." Amara concluded her speech by encouraging her classmates and the generations to come, saying, "Don't be afraid to face challenges and hardships. Use tolerance and kindness to confront the world, and always remember that each of us has the power to create change." The hall resounded with applause, and Amara knew that this was not just the end of one journey, but the beginning of a new chapter in her life. After graduation, Amara decided to pursue studies in psychology and sociology, aiming to expand her knowledge and continue helping others. She understood that knowledge would be a powerful tool, not only for developing her project, but also for spreading the message of tolerance on a larger scale. During her college years, Amara continued to grow the Colors of Respect project, turning it into a real nonprofit organization. Her organization offered training sessions, educational resources, and workshops at schools and communities to spread the message of respect, diversity, and love. From a small initiative, Colors of Respect had become a national movement with hundreds of participants and supporters. Amara tirelessly worked to improve the organization, meeting and learning from other activists and experienced individuals in education and psychology. She never stopped welcoming and supporting young people who had endured discrimination and pain, helping them find their voice and confidence. Years later, Amara became a renowned speaker, an advisor, and an inspiration to thousands worldwide. She was invited to international conferences to speak on the power of tolerance, love, and community in creating positive change. Amara remained humble, filled with love, always remembering that she had once been a shy girl who had to overcome countless challenges to find herself. At one of these conferences, Amara reunited with Maya and Leo, the two friends who had first helped her overcome challenges and build Colors of Respect during their school days. The three embraced, reflecting on the journey they had taken and the achievements they had made. Amara felt emotional, knowing they had truly changed not only their own lives, but also those of countless others. After the conference, a young student approached Amara and asked, "Miss Amara, how can I help people the way you do?" Amara leaned down, smiling, and said, "Just start with small acts. Listen, love, and help others sincerely. When you treat others with tolerance and kindness, you'll see that you're making a big difference, even if it's just in one person's heart." As Amara watched the young student walk away, she saw the spark of hope in their eyes, just like she had felt when her journey began. She knew that the seeds she had planted were growing, spreading to younger generations who would carry her message forward. Amara promised herself that, no matter where life took her, she would always keep her heart filled with kindness and determination, and she would never stop inspiring those who needed it. When Amara's final school year ended, and she stepped fully into her role as a young leader, she understood that her mission was just beginning. With the successful launch of Colors of Respect as a national movement and a recognized nonprofit, she and her team began expanding their activities even further. They organized events, held workshops, and brought their message of respect and tolerance into schools, workplaces, and communities across the country. More and more, people were inspired by Amara's vision and joined the movement. As she entered university, Amara majored in psychology and sociology to better understand the root causes of prejudice and the importance of diversity. Her studies helped her gain deeper insight into human nature, equipping her with new skills to strengthen her project's impact. She worked tirelessly to provide resources for students facing bullying, prejudice, or discrimination and offered support and counseling through Colors of Respect. Over time, Colors of Respect became not just a movement, but an entire ecosystem of compassion. Amara's team included volunteers and specialists who worked on providing support for mental health, creating inclusive educational materials, and training teachers and students to foster empathy and understanding. The project expanded into a series of support programs for people of all backgrounds, offering a community where everyone could find acceptance and kindness. As the project's influence grew, Amara began receiving invitations to international forums. She spoke at the United Nations, the World Youth Forum, and human rights conferences in various countries, sharing her story and the powerful message of Colors of Respect. Each speech reinforced her belief that everyone, regardless of their background or experiences, had the ability to spark change in their communities. At one particularly memorable conference, Amara met leaders of other movements for human rights and equality. One leader, Sophia, ran a program in Italy advocating for the inclusion of marginalized communities. Another, Rajesh from India, had created a campaign for the rights of children living in rural areas. They spoke about the struggles they had encountered and the incredible resilience they'd witnessed in their communities. Amara felt inspired by these leaders and knew that together they could make a more significant impact. After several days of discussions and brainstorming, Amara, Sophia, and Rajesh decided to collaborate on a global initiative to promote respect and tolerance. They called it the Global Network for Unity and Respect, a coalition that would bring together young leaders from different countries to share knowledge, resources, and support in combating prejudice and promoting inclusivity. The coalition's goal was to reach schools, universities, and communities worldwide, helping young people and adults alike understand the importance of diversity. Through the global network, Amara continued to expand her influence, joining forces with her colleagues to create educational tools and online programs that reached thousands of schools and institutions. They created a platform where young people could share their stories and learn from each other, crossing cultural boundaries to create understanding and compassion. Amara felt a profound sense of purpose, knowing that her journey had now become part of a larger movement spanning the globe. Back in her own community, Colors of Respect continued to flourish. Amara's story was now well known, inspiring young people to create safe spaces in their schools and communities, to stand up against bullying, and to champion diversity. Parents, teachers, and community leaders alike respected and admired her courage and dedication. Many students who had once felt isolated or misunderstood found comfort and acceptance within the Colors of Respect community. Years later, Amara became a renowned expert in the field of social psychology, respected and admired not only for her professional accomplishments, but for her compassion and lifelong dedication to fostering respect and understanding. She never forgot her journey, the challenges, the people who supported her, and the young girl she had once been, determined to change the world despite all odds. At one of her workshops, a young girl named Amina approached Amara. She shared that she had once been teased and bullied at her school, but had found courage and hope through the Colors of Respect community. Amina told Amara, "You showed me that I don't have to change who I am to fit in. I've learned to love myself and to stand up for others." Hearing this, Amara felt deeply touched. She understood that her journey, her message, and her life's work had become a legacy that would continue to inspire generations. She had dedicated herself to creating a world where everyone could find respect, empathy, and a sense of belonging. As she watched young leaders like Amina step forward, Amara knew that the seeds she had planted had grown into a forest of hope, resilience, and unity. She felt fulfilled, knowing that her mission had extended beyond herself, influencing lives far and wide, transforming communities, and building a future where kindness and tolerance would prevail. Amara vowed to continue her work, to keep advocating for love and respect, and to inspire every person she met to see the strength within themselves. And as she continued her journey, she carried with her the light of compassion and determination, a beacon for those who would come after her, continuing the work she had started.